Alright folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a quick walk around of the truck here. I did do some voice on the video itself, but didn't really care for the way it came out, so I'll just talk about it a little bit. I'm going to do a 55,000 mile review on my Toyota Tundra Limited. It is a 2023. It does fall under the most recent engine recall, and I'll talk about that a little bit. It's been a great truck for me. I really have no issues with it. A couple small things that we'll talk about in the video that I think everybody will be familiar with. But overall, this truck has worked out very well for me. I just returned from an out and back Colorado trip. No issues, had a great time. The truck does everything I need it to do, and it is my dirt bike truck, so it gets to haul the dirt bikes and gets to go to a lot of places, so I do put a lot of miles in it. It's not quite 2 years old yet. It'll be 2 years old in about 4 months, and at 55,000 miles. I really haven't done any modifications to this truck. I put on some, yes, Chinese-made mud flaps. Got them off of Amazon. They worked out great. Had them since day one. I put on the Go Rhino running boards here. I like them. They're great. I kind of like my old Tundra running boards from my 2008 a little bit better. They were more enclosed. So underneath these, they're kind of just open. So we get a lot of rain here, or if I'm on rocky roads or dirt roads, they can make a lot of noise. Even the rain can make a lot of noise. The other thing is, I blew through the OEM tires at about 38,000 miles, and I put these tires on here. They're just slightly larger, not much. They're not a super large tire like a lot of people put on. I don't really do that. I usually just try to put a tire on that works for me. These are from Discount Tire. These are the Pathfinder all-terrains. It's really interesting because from a size perspective, they're the cheapest truck tires out there. And I've used these on previous Tundras. They work great. I get roughly 60,000 miles out of them, so I don't have any complaints. The size I went with on this tire is a 275/65/20. The stock tire that came on this truck was a 265/65/20. So slightly larger, not that big of a deal. I don't see huge differences in speed in my speedometer being calculated properly. It's pretty close, within a mile or two of what it should be. I've debated on the front end going all white, but I've kind of got used to the silver. It's kind of working for me. I didn't PPF this front, so it's got, even the paint's already got some chips in it from the mileage, but it is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of one thing I wish I had paid attention to was the headlights. I don't think it's that big of a deal. These headlights are very bright. I don't have any issues with them, but the reality is that there's a upgraded headlight that you could have gotten with a certain package. I wasn't paying attention to that. Again, if you're really into the headlight thing, you might want to pay attention to the packages that Toyota has. On the front end, I'm debating changing out the grille to the Toyota Heritage grille. I may or may not do that. Typically, I just drive my trucks. I don't really do a lot to them. I just drive them. My last Tundra had 285,000 miles on it before a couple deer totaled it on me. Overall, the paint's doing well. I know some paint, is different depending on the color and everything. I haven't had a white vehicle in a long time, so the kind of not pearl white really works for me. It's easy to take care of and all that good stuff. The other thing I did back here was, and of course this is a cool feature right there, was I've talked about it before, tonneau covers. I know there's a lot of them. I really like the revolver here. It rolls up. It works very well for me and my dirt bikes. And this is the revolver X4S. And I had the previous version of this on the old truck, and it lasted for 10 years. So, I mean, it works really well. Okay, this is where you're going to see, you might see
My interior is a little bit dirty. I haven't cleaned it up entirely from the trip, but this is it. Really love the back seat in this. My last truck was not the Crew Max, and I always thought it had a pretty good back seat, but not compared to this thing. So I do enjoy the size of this, and then when some of my buddies are riding back here, they enjoy it. I do like the storage in here. I know some people do, some people don't, but it works for me. I could put a few things in there, and actually it's not even filled, so I could put some more stuff in there. It works pretty well for me. Around to the front, into the interior. Okay, so one thing, I've had this panel on the seat replaced once because it cracked, and I believe I might have a new crack starting on the new one. And by the way, I don't know if the one that they replaced it with is the new model, or it was just one that they had in the dealer, but it's starting to crack again. We'll wait and see. I'm going to let it go all the way and see how long it lasts. I don't think that they'll replace it under warranty. The truck's kind of, other than the drivetrain, I do have an extended warranty on the truck, but other than the drivetrain, the truck is now out of warranty, so they likely won't replace it for free. Maybe under the extended warranty, they'll replace it. It's a $50 charge if I do that, and that may be okay. Again, the truck's a little bit dirty, but we'll hop in here. I really haven't done any modifications here. I put a matte screen cover on the screen, and that's actually worked out pretty well. I wasn't sure about that for a while. The truck's super comfortable. I know people talk about the comfort of the truck. I just drove, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, drove home and drove, I don't know, something like 1,800 miles, and it was super comfortable for me. So I really have no complaints about the interior of this truck. Another thing, I've mentioned this in other videos, is the stereo system. I did not go for the JBL stereo system, so again, that's a package like the headlights that I could have gotten, and I kind of wish I had done that. The stereo is fine, but and I'm not a huge audiophile person, but I think that it would have been nice to have the JBL. It's not something that kills me, but it would have been nice to have, and I might put one of those small amps that guys are putting up in there. We'll see. The other thing I did was I put this matte cover on the piano black cover that was sitting here. Works a lot better. That thing was getting scratched up. I don't know why. It's the one piece in the whole truck that's piano black, and I don't understand why they do that, other than the steering wheel. So I don't really understand why they do that. I've had no issues with the console. It works really well for me. I would like to see deeper cup holders. That could be an option that I do in the future. I know some folks have that option. All right on. My engine is super dirty right now. So I rarely open this hood. Almost never do. The only thing I've done is I've put the TRD air filters in here on both sides, and those are nice. I can wash them and things like that. Other than that, I really haven't done anything. I take it into service. I do take it to a Toyota dealer. I like my Toyota dealer. My service rep seems very knowledgeable about these things. He's a Toyota guy himself. He's a big Tacoma guy. Seems fairly knowledgeable about everything. So I don't have any concerns. They've serviced this truck well. They've kept me up to date on everything. They'll tell me what they know and what they don't know. And check it out. We got some pine needles. We get a lot of those here. But let's talk about this here for a second. Toyota has the recall out for the engines. My truck falls into that recall. It sucks for anybody that's had a blown engine, and I wouldn't want to put myself in that place. That would completely suck. And anybody who's had that happen to them, I can understand their disappointment and anger with Toyota on that. The reality is these days we're seeing a lot of recalls on vehicles, whether it's a Tundra, Ford, even GMCs. My neighbor over there, his 6.2 blew up, you know. So, you know, we're seeing it across the board. I don't know what it is, but it's a pretty big problem. And in this case, you know, Toyota probably should have followed some of their own Lean Sigma principles, and they didn't somehow, and it ended up in a problem. However, I was always confident that Toyota was going to go ahead and solve this problem. And from what I understand, there's a lot of stuff out there, but I've talked to some folks, and I've got a friend of mine who's a GM of a Toyota dealer. Is Toyota tried to figure out exactly what trucks would be affected by this, and it's just too broad a scope, so they made basically a command decision that they're going to replace these motors. I have over 55,000 miles on this truck. It is 18 months old. It's done extremely well for me. I get pretty good gas mileage for a truck. I mean, is it as good as some of the 3.0 diesels? Nope. And but that's okay with me. But it's done well. They're going to replace the engine in this. I don't know when. I don't know how it's going to work. But I'm pretty confident. I've owned a lot of Toyota vehicles that they've always taken care of me. So I'm pretty confident, and until they prove to me that they're not going to take care of me, I'm going to make that assumption they will take care of me. And I think they'll take care of most everybody. So the interesting thing is I could end up having 70,000 miles on this truck by the time I get a new engine, or more. And you know what? They want to replace the engine at that point, go for it. I'm openly willing to drive this truck for as long as I can. And you know, I drove my last truck for 15 years. I'm happy to drive this one for 15 or more. I'm not that interested in buying more vehicles. So that's kind of my take on the engine deal. I don't really have any, I'm not going to try to speculate on different information about the engine or what's going on with it. Toyota stated they're going to take care of it. They've stated that they're going to replace the engines. Nobody really knows what that means. Does it include the turbos, whatever? I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. When the time comes, they'll tell me what it is. I'll get my stuff done and I'll move on. But overall, this has been a great driving truck. It's been very comfortable for me. Again, I'm not putting the highest mileage out there. There's other guys who are putting more miles on it in time than I am. But 55,000 miles in 18 months, I think I can say that I'm very comfortable in the truck. It drives very well for me. It's done excellent. We had a great time going out to Colorado with a couple dirt bikes in the back of the truck. They're just a good truck. And I know people have problems with them. And I feel bad for those folks that have had the problems. But I'd say that probably every manufacturer is having problems with their vehicles right now in one way or another. Especially the trucks for some reason. I don't know what it is. The Fords, the GMs had their problems, you know, so it is what it is. I chose to buy a Toyota Tundra, and I'm going to have to live with this. I'm not going to worry too much about it, but overall, it's been a really great truck. 55,000 miles. I'll probably do another video somewhere around 75,000 miles, so stick with me. Thanks.